Hi, I'm Taylor Neuman, and I am with Elaphunk at Druid City Music Hall. What is your passion for music? Where did that start from?
It started at a really, really early age. Obviously it started at birth because it's something that just is inherent. Whoa, Elefante going ham out there right now.
Sorry.
It started at a really early age. It was something that's just inherent in me, but I started playing instruments when I was about 10 years old. I was a percussionist. I played drums and anything that my ADD ass could get 2 sticks and a bang on. Like, that's pretty much what I did. I didn't start DJing until I was until college, really, freshman year of college. It's actually a funny story how I started. I would, when you go to those parties and you go to those house parties and people are like, yo, who's got the aux? I'd be like, well, I got the aux. And I'd plug my phone in and do some YouTube shit and just fuck around, and people would really like it. And it got to the point where people would be like, it wouldn't be who's got the aux, they'd be like, yo, Damon's got the aux. And so I would plug my phone in and just go fucking crazy, and it was like that for a little while until literally somebody random came up to me and was like, yo, you're really good at this, you should be a DJ. And it had never even occurred to me to do something like that. So I was like, you're fucking right, I should do that. So I bought some equipment. I bought a shitty old Tractor S2 and started mixing it in my room at the fraternity house for my brothers. And I sounded like shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I sounded so bad, and
you had no idea what you were doing.
No idea what I was doing. I was literally teaching myself through YouTube and some friends. That was about it. And it eventually got to the point where I sounded good enough to where our social chair in the fraternity was like, "You want to play this show?" And the first show that I ever opened for was Project Pat. If you know Project Pat, he's one of the members of 3-6 Mafia.
Awesome.
He's an interesting fellow. He's a very interesting fellow.
What did you start playing when you first started?
When I first started playing, I was mixing really basic stuff. So in order to learn how to beat match and really work in key and learn how to really DJ, it's the best, probably the best music that I've found to learn how to mix is progressive house. So it's a gradual build up. It's easy to match and mix melodies. You're not worrying about too many vocals. There's not a lot of extra. And so when you're really learning how to mix and match sounds to seamlessly mix together so that your crowd doesn't even recognize that you're changing the vibe, progressive house is really, and that's like some Mark Knight, who isn't tech house, by the way. Mark Knight, who is progressive house, I swear to God. But yeah, that's what I started with, and it wasn't until a little while later until I started really getting into the disco funk and deep house sounds like Duke Dumont and stuff. That's really become my real marquee sound.
So when I listen to, I think of Chami.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did you go from Duke Dumont to Chami? You know what I mean?
It has a lot to do with my crowd. So I'm a sucker for a melody. I love a beautiful melody and a beautiful female vocal. But what I found is that's beautiful for making mixes to put online for other people to listen to or smoke to or drink to or whatever they want. But when you're live, people want to go fucking hard. They really want to turn up and they want to show out.
For sure.
They want to let some stuff go. And I found that bass house and deep house is something that's really much more attuned to a live crowd. So what you'll hear me put online is a lot different. Different than what you'll hear me play live. So it's what I like to listen to personally is actually very different than what I like to play when I'm live. And I love Chami. Like you say Chami, I'm about some Chami.
Chami's dope. And
Chami,
Flume. And Flume.
Yeah, Flume doesn't make his so I produce a little bit, but what I really do is DJ. I'm really a DJ at heart. And I like to look at it as putting together a mosaic, a painting. I take other people's work and I tribute. I really put it together and mix sounds and really make it my own in my own way. And it's a wild ride. I love being on stage. I love the feel of it. I used to go to parties all the time, and it's always fun. I was that kind of person who would go to parties, and I would have much more fun talking to people than drinking, really. I mean, drinking's a part of it. But I remember going to one party and being like, I'm bouncing around and talking to people here and there, and I remember looking at the DJ and being like, that dude right there is talking to everybody at the party at one time. That's the most efficient motherfucker in this building.
It is. He doesn't actually have to talk. Nope. He just plays the music, and everyone's like, "We feel you."
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I really looked up to that, and I idolized that, and I thought I could do that, and here I am. I mean, it's just that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to talk to everybody in the building at one time and show them how I feel every day, and show them that this is what I wake up with, and this is how I feel every day. The love and the joy and the beauty that the music brings to me. And God damn it, I want to tell you how I feel, and I want you to feel the way I feel. Even if you don't understand it, you'll know you'll feel it, and you'll be happy, and we can be happy together. And I wanted to really translate that to a crowd, and I found out that it's not that easy to tell people one by one. But if I get on stage and I play the music, I am the puppet master.
You're right.
I set the tone, and I really, really loved that about it.
I mean, you set the tone for me. I was out there like, wah,
yeah,
wah, wah.
it was
you know
great. Yeah,
it's that long sound.
I call it that guttural sound.
Yeah.
It's that, I call it the stank face. It's that shit like you come in the room like, you smell that? Oh.
I literally looked at my boyfriend and I go,
yeah.
That's that.
What the fuck?
That's that stanky.
Stank,
I was like, this guy's dirty. On my Snapchat.
Yeah.
Where do you come up with your name?
When I first came up with my name, it was actually Elaphunk.
Okay.
And I was living over off Caplewood here in Tuscaloosa in a house that we had bought. I was DJing in the living room and having a good time, and I was thinking in my head about who I wanted to be and what I wanted to name myself, and what should that influence what my name is, and what I wanted to do in 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, just setting incremental goals. And Elaphunk came out of nowhere and just hit me like a train. And I stopped the music and I go, oh my God! And I left. I left the house. I put my headphones in and I left the house. And I walked. I walked all around campus and all around Tuscaloosa for probably 4 to 6 hours. I watched the sunrise down the riverfront, and all I did was think about what I wanted Elaphunk to be. What I wanted him to represent, what I wanted him to play, what I wanted the idea to be, what I wanted him to influence in people. I just built this idea around Elaphunk. And when I came home at sunrise, my friends were still awake, and I opened the door. No, man. I opened the door, and all my friends are still awake, and they're like, where the fuck have you been? I go, Elaphunk. And they all fucking knew. They were all like, word. And that's kind of how it took off from there. It wasn't until recently that I shortened it to Elaphunk. About a year ago. Not even.
Because Funkadelic is actual.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know Funkadelic.
So you were like, nah, I can't copy him.
Nah.
Or you didn't even think about that.
I wasn't thinking about Funkadelic at the time. But it was kind of, I do sample Funkadelic a little bit in my music, so like it was kind of an honor. It was a tribute to the band. But I'm a huge, Parliament funk band, George Clinton, Funkadelic, like Maggot Brain is fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like, that is one of the best albums of all time. I mean, I really hold it in high standard. But I really wanted to, I believe that funk music is something that is timeless and puts, you can't not tap your toe. You can't tap your toe to funk music. I mean,
not at all.
It's the happiest music of all time.
For sure.
There's nothing that is wholly as happy as funk music is. And that's how I feel, and that's how I wanted to really translate that to the crowd through my music, and funk music is just really where it all took off. So, yeah.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Thank God. Somebody did.
I danced my ass off.
Dude, I'm just so pissed off my computer crashed. I had 15 minutes left. I stopped at 9:45. My computer went on the fritz. I haven't seen him do that since the last time I played with Elefante, actually.
How did you meet him?
Okay, so we worked together in Phoenix, Arizona about a year ago. So we were both contracted to play at the national championship a couple years ago.
Which one?
When we were in Phoenix against Clemson the first time, and we won. And so we flew out there together and worked together and played some pretty big stages. We played a private party for ESPN that Saturday night. And then Sunday night we played a party together in their main square on a big, like festival-sized stage. And my computer crashed front of 3,000 people.
Well, what did everyone do?
Okay, so there's this. So when it comes to production and music and like being a DJ, there's this thing called dead air. I'm sure you know what dead air is.
Yeah.
Like when it's quiet.
Yeah.
No dead air. You cannot have dead air.
No.
So when my computer crashed, I just grabbed that mic and was just like, I just started riffing, you know.
Yeah.
I just started just saying as much as I could.
Get the crowd
until
pumped.
I could get my computer
Exactly.
back again, and I did, and I finished my show, and it was no problem, went out without a hitch. But that was the first time, not only that I'd ever played on a stage that big, but that had something like that ever happened to me. So I was like freaking out, like I was like, oh, like having a small heart attack. But I worked it out, and it's part of the business. You learn how to roll with those kinds of things, and like I was able to handle what just happened tonight because I was able to learn.
Because you learn from it, and you're like, all right, that happened to me. Next time, I'm gonna.
I'll be much more cool about it because
Exactly.
I definitely freaked out a little bit in Phoenix.
And you never know when something like that is gonna happen.
you never
so
do.
you have to just
You've got to be able to have a contingency
improv.
plan.
It's improv.
Yeah, so you gotta learn to roll with the punches. You gotta learn to deal with technical difficulties. You gotta learn to deal with a lot of the shit that people don't realize on that side of the stage. There's a lot going on behind the stage. Nobody knows.
No.
Nobody really realizes how much work goes into you having a good time. And I am beyond happy to do that. I am beyond happy to do that because there's nothing that makes me happier
Then see people be happy.
Than see people be happy.
To your music
To
that
me,
you
to my
created.
music, exactly. Nothing makes me more happy than that. Nothing makes me more happy than when some dude comes up to me and goes, dude, you got me laid last night. And that pussy was excellent. I go, much love. Like, that is, like, so good to me. Like, that really fills my heart with joy and overflows. And all I want to do is share it with people. And that's just how I've always been. I always would rather you have a good time at the expense of me. I would much rather, if I'm okay with not having a good time as long as everybody else does.
So where do you see yourself in like 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years?
With DJing. You know what I mean? Like, you've gone this far.
I mean, I guess I got aspirations and goals, like shoot for the stars, land in the moon kind of things. I would love to see myself, you know, on tour with my own music and just going around the country and bouncing around to venues and helping out local guys like me. I'd love to see myself at music festivals, maybe not even, you know, everybody's got aspirations for main stages, but I'd be happy with a side stage, you know. I've been moving more towards management of music, actually.
Really?
Yeah.